Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mobil 1 Cup Series All-Star Race live from Zenjoltis Speedway. Here, 16 laps of racing will be run, and at the end of them, we will crown ourselves a new Mobil 1 Cup Series All-Star Race champion. Last year, it was Noah Cars in a great finish, as Noah Cars wowed everybody in a single-car race team, taking the checkers flag at Pigs Creek Superspeedway. Noah Cars is not in this field here today to be able to defend his All-Star Race win. However, we got 26 drivers who would love to be able to claim that title here in Season 2. Let's go through the field, show you who they are. Jared Crocious, who started off the season with a bang with a win at Daytona. He'll line up on the pole. To his outside, Noel Stiller, who took a win last season in the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. He's in the number 24 Mustang here today on the outside of row 1. In row 2, we got T.O. Bain, who was one of 3 drivers who got in via the fan vote after the Mobil 1 Open at Trenton. And to the outside will be Devin Wilson, who took the checkers at Atlanta earlier this season. Then we've got Kenny McCurry. He took the win at Las Vegas this year, and he'll line up alongside of Anthony McCurry, or make that Christian Janes in the 66. Christian Janes ended up being in the top 10 in standings when we got here to the All-Star Race weekend. Then we got Dougie Shears. He won a race last year in the number 88 for Robert Yates Racing. He's in the number 60 for Roush Fenway Racing here this season. So he lines up alongside of Anthony McCurry, who took the win at the restrictor plate track of Talladega earlier this season. Bob Fergus was another of those 3 drivers who got in via the fan vote, as he lines up alongside of Ziggy Bain, who comes in the top 10 in the standings. John Worry, also in the top 10 standings, is going to be on the inside of row 6, alongside of Timmy Pacioli, who leads all drivers this season in the Mobil 1 Cup Series with 2 wins. Then we've got Lisa Shears, who took the win at Phoenix, as the command to fire the engines has been given. Ray Wilson, who comes in the top 10 in the standings, he'll line up there. And then on the inside of the next row, we've got Jake Rogers. He comes in the top 10 in the standings. The same for Nick Eggleston, who starts on the outside in the number 74. Then we got Ralph Green, who took the win at Texas earlier this season as a rookie, and he'll line up alongside fellow rookie John Brace, who comes in the top 10 in the standings. Adam Chambers, he'll line up alongside of Jacob Rodriguez. Chambers gets in being one of the 3 drivers in the fan vote at Trenton. Jacob Rodriguez took the checkers at Darlington this season. Then we got on the inside of the next row, Chad Smith, who got in this winning the Mobil Open last week at Trenton, and he'll line up alongside of Angel D'Souza in the 15, who took a win last season in the Mobil 1 Cup Series. On the inside of the next row, we got Michael Harvey in the number 87. He finished second in the Mobil Open, which clinched him a spot here in the All-Star Race, and he'll line up alongside of Brandon Gonzalez in the 53, who took the checkers at the road course this season in Finian Raceway. In the final row, on the inside, is going to be Sean Galligan, the number 84, who won the season finale of Season 1 in the number 99 for Roush Fenway Racing at Homestead Miami Speedway. Today, he is in the Red Bull colors for Red Bull Racing number 84. Sean Galligan will line up alongside of defending champion in the Mobil 1 Cup Series, Matthew Rodriguez, in the number 29 Ream Chevrolet, defending champion starting off in 26th here today. So the pace car leads them around. If you didn't watch the Oreo All-Star Race yesterday, boy, did you miss out on an epic race. James Bald on fumes, winning that race, being able to hold off Daniel Schwab by a truck length and winning that race. He then, right after crossing the start-finish line, came down pit road out of fuel. Will we have the same kind of thing happen here today, or will we exceed that epic race with a race finish here today? I have no idea, and I bet these drivers have no clue what's in store in these 16 laps. One thing that is very important in this race, you will have to make a pit stop. Whether it be under green, whether it be under caution, it doesn't matter. You just have to make a pit stop, or else you will be disqualified. Another thing is, James Ball, remember, stretched it almost a little too far, almost didn't pick up the win yesterday. Will somebody make that mistake here today, or have they learned from that mistake, and will they make sure they're going to be good to go on fuel for the finish of this event? It's going to be 16 laps of action-packed racing here at Zenjoltis, a track that can hold up to 6 and 7 wide racing. The green flag is out for Season 2 Mobil 1 Cup Series All-Star Race. Jared Crocier's going to get a challenge down low already. T.O. Bain going to come down to the inside. T.O. Bain wouldn't have made this race if he hadn't been voted in by the fans. And that number 22 for Penske Racing is going to go to the front. Here now comes Kenny McCurry to the inside. Already they're 4 wide going down the backstretch. Didn't take them long to find out this track is wide. Kenny McCurry down low. T.O. Bain in the middle. Up another groove is Jared Crocious and Noel Stiller rim riding there. Kenny McCurry out in front now. McCurry's been to victory lane this year. He won at the second race of the season, or make that the third race of the season, Las Vegas. He'll put the block on Dougie Shears, continue to lead that inside line. Big thing about this racetrack, whether you're on the inside line, outside line, it really doesn't matter. The fact is that this track is very consistent on all lines. The outside line can move one lap, the inside line can move another. It can almost be a dead heat between the inside and outside line, which is why this track is so famous for photo finishes. Think back to the Craftsman Car Series season finale here at Zen Joltis. It was Austin Hartman down with Dougie Shears' photo finish at the stripe, so we may be in for something like that here today as Kenny McCurry continues to lead. Now the inside line is led by Chad Smith and Michael Harvey. Look at this. Chad Smith, Michael Harvey from Nemco Motorsports, the guys who finished 1-2 in the Mobil Open, they're coming up that inside line. A big thing that the drivers that transferred into this race, Chambers, Harvey, Smith, what they were saying is that this is not Trenton. They are not used to this racetrack. None of these drivers are. It's like a clean slate for them, a blank slate. They have nothing to go on as far as strategy. They're having to learn this track here in one of the greatest races of the season, the All-Star race. As now, here comes our defending champion in the Mobil One Cup Series. It's Matthew Rodriguez in the 29 going to the front with help from younger brother Jacob Rodriguez. Probably the most muscle we've seen out of our defending champion Matthew Rodriguez all season long, as he is out in front now. Younger brother going to try and take that inside line and go ahead of older brother and defending champion Matthew Rodriguez. Nick Eggleston there as well. There was a lot of discussion on where the All-Star race was going to be held. And, Chad Smith, Michael Harvey, they were hoping it was going to be at Trenton because they knew that racetrack very, very well. In fact, Michael Harvey put up a good fight in the Snickers Cup Series shootout, but ended up finishing, I believe it was around the 8th position, and did not transfer into that race. But they were hoping it was going to be at Trenton, so that way they'd have an upper hand on the rest of the field. But not the case. They're all having to learn Zen Joltis here today, as Nick Eggleston now is going to try and take his turn at the front. And here comes one of the most dominant drivers in the Mobil One Cup Series this season, Timmy Pacioli, who ended up having a streak of 4 wins in all 3 series. He's got 2 wins here in the Mobil One Cup Series, and he's trying to come to the front with help from Christian James, who now shoves Pacioli out of the way, and he'll take that inside line. It seems like we've already run 10 laps or so. We've only run 3. That's how large this racetrack is, and we're about 5 laps away from what would probably be scheduled pit stops. However, we may have some drivers try and short pit. However, if they did that, I think they probably would end up having to pit another time. I think really the key strategy that I was hearing down here, everybody's going to try to shoot for either lap 10 or lap 11 to try and pit. They're not going to, I heard that some drivers may pit on lap 9, but that's not what they're really wanting to do. They don't want to really pit on lap 9 because they're afraid they may end up having the same thing happen to them that happened to James Bald. Robert Bannon in the Truck Series race yesterday ended up stretching it out to lap 10, and he made it a full lap around, did not run out of fuel, so maybe these guys will try and make it to lap 10. That might be in their best interest. Here comes Adam Chambers and Anthony McCurry. Both of them have actually won at Talladega. However, Chambers came in the Snickers Cup Series. McCurry's came here in the Mobil One Cup Series, but they are working together here. They know how to get around a restrictor plate track, obviously. Jake Rogers there in that 25. He's trying to get some experience. Rogers has actually been in all 3 All-Star races. He was in the Truck Series All-Star race yesterday. He's in the Mobil One Cup Series All-Star race here today, and he got into the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race via the fan vote. There was actually a 3-way or 5-way tie for the fan vote in the Snickers Shootout, and Jake Rogers will be driving in that All-Star race as well, so he's got a little bit of an upper hand on the rest of the field as far as that goes, racing in all 3 All-Star races. Here comes John Brace down the inside line. First time we've seen the 16 popping his head up here into the top 5 as he leads Jacob Rodriguez and Ralph Green on that inside line. John Brace has been mighty close to getting a win so far this season, but just has not been able to do it. He's got good starting spots, though. He's had quite a few poles this season, and now he wants a piece of the lead. Here comes John Brace, and now he's got Ralph Green in tow along with Sean Galligan. Galligan, who started off in the 25th position, now suddenly showing himself up into the top 10. You can notice how much room there is to race here. Look at how wide they are racing, but yet they've got space between their race cars. And that's one thing about this racetrack that these guys like, is that they have less of a chance for a wreck. Everybody almost pretty much has a chance to win this race because there's so much space to be able to race in. Speaking of space, Sean Galligan giving plenty of space up high to Ziggy Bain, and Bain's going to utilize it as now Ziggy Bain's going to come down to the inside line, bypass Sean Galligan for the lead. Here's T.O. Bain down to the inside line, along with Bob Fergus. Both of them made it in via the fan vote, Bain and Fergus, that is. And Devin Wilson is going to try and come up that inside line as well. Wilson went to victory lane at Atlanta 1 week ago. T.O. Bain to the front now in that number 22. It seems like we're having almost a typical Talladega race where these drivers are coming up in waves. You have a group of 5 cars at the front, then they fall to the back. You got another group of 5 cars at the front, then they fall to the back. Then you have another group of 5 cars. Then you come back and you have that first group of 5 cars up at the front again. Seems like that's happening here today. What wave is going to be? Oh, there's a wreck! Oh, there's Ralph Green to the wall! Flipping is Kenny McCurry, Christian Jakes. Oh, they're wrecking further up! Sean Galligan, Devin Wilson, the caution is out. Angel D'Souza going to try and make it 3 wide for the lead with Jake Rogers and T.O. Bain, but a huge wreck there in the back on lap 6. Angel D'Souza with the lead, it looks like, at the stripe probably, as she has inside line. Sean Galligan's back there in 5th, but heavy damage to the Kangaroo Toyota, number 84. That hood is crunched up. And look at this, T.O. Bain's offering the drafting help up high to Noel Stiller in the 24. Stiller's going to try and pull ahead here at the stripe. Maybe a photo finish to see who's going to lead under caution. No, T.O. Bain just shoves Noel Stiller across the stripe, and Noel Stiller leads under caution. Ray Wilson's on pit road. There's Kenny McCurry's race car. Adam Chambers is all messed up. Devin Wilson the same. Christian James I saw get involved along with Ralph Green. Jake Rogers may have gotten a piece of it. Timmy Pacioli, Lisa Shears, they look okay. There's some rear end damage to Ziggy Bain. Same for Dougie Shears and Bob Fergus. Brandon Gonzalez, Jacob Rodriguez, they have damage. Looks like Matthew Rodriguez is okay. And there's Sean Galligan. Look at the crunched up front end of that number 84. A big wreck here on lap 6. Let's see what happened. Alright, now let's watch carefully here down low. See if anybody hits anybody here. Does Timmy Pacioli get up into the 53 of Brandon Gonzalez right here? Let's see. Is there contact right there? No, I'm not seeing any. I know the 62 goes flipping though. Let's look further up here. There, yes! Timmy Pacioli did get Brandon Gonzalez. Gonzalez up into John Worry. John Worry up into Ray Wilson. Wilson comes up, gets a piece of Ralph Green and Jacob Rodriguez. And Kenny McCurry, nowhere to go, goes up and hard into the outside wall, ends up flipping there. Car behind him, I couldn't tell who that was. Look at there further ahead. Ziggy Bain then comes down into Bob Fergus, and a wreck ensues there. Oh, but look at Kenny McCurry and Ray Wilson, both upside down. The other car that I was trying to look at back there was Jake Rogers. There's Matthew Rodriguez. He's going to go up and pound the outside wall with Devin Wilson. Ziggy Bain spinning further down there on the right side of your screen. The other car spinning there is Timmy Pacioli. Oh, and right there, Sean Galligan got into the rear end of Devin Wilson. That's what ended up giving him his damage, and Devin Wilson backing up into the outside retaining wall once again. Lisa Shears getting turned around back there along with Timmy Pacioli. And there's Devin Wilson getting contact once again down low on the bottom of your screen. He spins out once more. And then it's just a smoke screen. You can't see anything. Wow. Oh, look at Kenny. He's still on his roof. Now as the smoke starts to clear, you can see Kenny McCurry's car never made it up onto its wheel. Well, maybe it does here. But it was on its roof sliding. Oh my. Let's do some onboard, see if we can find out what happened. First, we'll take a ride with Kenny McCurry in the 62. Lost the camera there. And then the car flips back over. Ray Wilson's car, I don't know if it made it up on its roof or not, or off of its roof. Oh, looks like it barrel rolled and landed on all four wheels. Let's ride on board with the 31. Well, here's on board with Ray Wilson. Watch the 60 left side of your screen come up and make some contact. Actually, it was the 81 of John Worry that made the contact. Dougie Shears was further ahead, and 31's on its roof at this point. Oh, wow. That's a wild ride for Ray Wilson. Last but not least, on board with Sean Galligan. Oh, Devin Wilson and Matthew Rodriguez came right up in front of him. Nowhere he could go. So Noel Stiller leads the way under caution over Tio Bay and Angelo Souza. Is anyone coming down pit road this time? Yep, looks like the first one to come down is going to be the 99 of Jared Crocious. Sean Galligan's coming down pit road. Looks like John Brace, Brandon Gonzalez, Bob Fergus, Dougie Shears all coming down pit road here on lap 8. Sean Galligan, I think he's just coming down to make the hard left-hand turn to the garage area. But everybody else, I believe, is coming down for routine pit service. Jacob Rodriguez got a little piece of that action as we saw, but he's not coming in this time. Apparently the damage not that bad on the GoDaddy Chevrolet. Crocious, our pole sitter, he's going to have that first pit box, which is going to help him out here. The rest of the cars coming in are Chad Smith. Looks like Timmy Pacioli's coming down pit road along with the 25 of Jake Rogers. Christian James is coming down pit road, and I think that's Ziggy Bain back there as well. No, it's Ralph Green. Ralph Green is coming down pit road as well. There you see them passing the Ray Wilson machine, who took that wild barrel roll. Crocious coming down to his first pit box. He'll try and get his car out in front of everybody else. Let's see if they're going to go with 4 tires or if they're going to just go with a 2-tire strategy. If you're going to get that tank full of fuel, you're best to go with a 4-tire stop. And it looks like they went with a long 2-tire stop instead. Don't know if that car's completely full of fuel or not. John Brace must have done the same thing. Chad Smith's going to come out 3rd. Timmy Pacioli's going to come out in 4th. Alright, so we'll step aside for a commercial break, come back and see if that second group of cars who did not pit are going to come down. The leader right now under caution is Noel Stiller as we are working the first caution of the day here at Zen Joltis.